Thank you again, folks, for joining us. I have here
Big Banks.
And I'm Stroobs. Let's roll.
Making all that noise, 'cause they found new toys. Well, we can't salute ya, can't find a flag. If that don't suit ya, that's a drag. School's out for summer.
We revisit again the Covington case. As you recall, back around MLK Day earlier this year, the steps of the Lincoln Memorial, we had the Catholic kids from Kentucky, Covington High School, probably around 3 parties there. They were waiting for their bus. We also had a black Israelites there, really engaging in their kind of vitriolic racial nastiness and really ugly, reprehensible things said by that group. And we had a group of Native Americans who had arranged to be there and to kind of give part of their demonstration there on the steps of Lincoln Memorial. So you had 3 parties kind of converging, and of course you had the mainstream, lamestream media. Here's what they had to say in the hours following that incident back in January.
We are hearing from a Native American elder and Vietnam War veteran speaking to CNN after a disturbing viral video shows a group of teens harassing and mocking him in the nation's capital. Here's the video sparking outrage on social media right now. Nathan Phillips was beating his drum and singing an American Indian protest song. And this was on Friday on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial when he saw a clash erupting between a group of teenage students and 4 African American young men preaching about the Bible and oppression. Well, Phillips says he immediately sensed danger. Then Phillips describes the tense moments now being replayed over and over again online when a young man got right in his face. Watch.
When I started going forward and that massive groups of people started separating and moving aside to allow me to move out of the way or to proceed, this young fella put himself in front of me and wouldn't move.
Congresswoman Deb Haaland is among the first Native Americans elected to Congress, and she reacted on Twitter, writing, "This veteran put his life on the line for our country. The students' display of blatant hate, disrespect, and intolerance is a signal of how common decency has decayed under this administration. Heartbreaking."
Of course, no attempt at all on the media's part to be unbiased, to get into kind of the intricate, finer details of the incident.
Just wait for the facts to come.
Or even, exactly, a rush to judgment, an absolute trial by public opinion. Disgusting things were said by these kids. You remember Kathy Griffin, of all people, telling folks to dox these kids and to ruin their lives. Other disgusting things. So a month and a half or 2 months passes, and who do we have come onto the scene? We have L. Lynn Wood, an attorney famous for his representation of Richard Jewell, as you recall, another libel lawsuit, another defamation lawsuit against media sources dating way back to the time of the 1996 Atlanta Olympics. Remember, if you recall, he represented Richard Jewell, who was a local police officer there working security during the Olympics, tried by the media, right? He was kind of the one who was bombarded when he was heading back to his house. You must be the, what did you do? Are you the pipe bomber? Are you the, exactly. And that didn't turn out so well for the likes of NBC and print press, the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, the local paper there in Georgia during the 96 Olympics. So L. Lynn Wood and his firm, they've taken up the case of the Covington kids, rightfully so. And this is what the attorney has to say about his attempt to challenge the big names in media.
People on the other side say that Lynn Wood's trying to chill speech. I'm trying to seek redress for false attacks. False speech. False speech has no value. And in Nicholas Salmon's case, you're talking about false speech that threatened, attacked, and vilified a minor child. If I am accused of chilling that kind of speech, I'm happy to take that banner and wave it proudly.
So you know what? So good. I say good. This is pretty much overdue. It was nasty how those kids were treated. They were run through the ringer of public opinion. No one attempted to show any impartiality, and these were kids. One kid in particular, Nick Sandmann, stood there wearing his MAGA hat, but he became a symbol of hatred amongst many in the left who saw a white privileged kid from a red state, and he just the embodiment of things they didn't like. But they forgot the fact that, or they conveniently overlooked the fact that he's a kid, and kids are off limits. You recall, even dating back to the Parkland issue, the amount of deference and the amount of kind of respect and the hands off of David Hogg, who put himself in the media spotlight, unlike Sandmann here. Sandmann was just, if you look at his gestures, if you look at the way he was treating the whole situation, he's just standing his ground. He's not in anyone's face. He's actually telling some of his classmates, just chill out, settle down, chill out. We're just going to stand here stoically, and we're not going to do anything, no major movements. So unbelievable, really. And you know what? I say good. I say, you know what? $275 million lawsuit for defamation. I hope CNN loses every penny of that. That's CNN. CNN and the other, and yes, the New York Times is there as well. Not sure about the Washington Post, but at least a couple of print media sources as well as CNN. Not doing the jobs that journalists are supposed to be doing. They are really trying to control the narrative, and it's getting pretty ugly out there. So, big banks, we'll see how that goes. It's new. We don't know where that's going to turn out. It might be a few more months before we see what happens in the court of law. But I hope the Covington kids win that lawsuit, and I think you're feeling the same, right, Big Banks?
I just hope that justice is served in this situation, regardless of who wins or who loses. At least you have your day in court. Get your day heard.
Yeah. And if this changes media practices, all the better. You know what? If this gets the media to act in a more responsible fashion, then I think that's a win all around.
Well, me personally, I don't think it's going to change the attitude of the media.
No.
They got a lot of money. So
they've gotten much worse in the era of Trump. It's when you flip on a CNN or an MSNBC or comparable networks, you get more of the same. And there's really, I know they've got sponsors to court, and they've got to make money, and they've got to get eyes on their programming, but they're not doing it the right way. So we'll see how that turns out. Thank you very much, folks, for tuning in again. Like, subscribe, follow. Please, if you could do all those things, Big Banks would be very happy. We'll catch you next time, folks. Peace.
Peace.
Well, we can't salute you, can't find a flag.